salutations and prostration unto thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Sati I am God. Thou art Maker of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us in the spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, hatred, anger, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be ever honored. Let us abide in thee forever and ever. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, make me so love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
SDA 5, page 1, song number 2.
play song number 1, 2, 3. Song number 123.
बड़ा चित्त चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाल गोपाल हे मुरली गोपाल Hari Om, Namaste, Vanakkam, greetings to everyone. I'm Swami Muktananda from the Sarvadharma Ashram. I am the caretaker there. I take care of everything. And today we want to welcome Swami Muktananda, the president of the Anand Ashram, and our brother Pradeep Ramla will introduce Swamiji when he's ready to speak. So today also we have a double celebration. Firstly, we are in Kendra, and then also it's 3 years for the Sannyasa Council, which I'm parcel of it. And so we're also celebrating our 3-year birthday, and what a good day to celebrate it when we have a great Mahatma like Swamiji that is coming. So we just want to have a few minutes of the Ram Nam chanting. Let us pray for the world. Let us pray for our country as there is poverty and unrest and violence, and for the whole world where there is war and things are going on. So every one of us need to be chanting at this point in time to bring some balance from adharma to dharma. And every one of us, you have to do your sadhana and don't sit and complain. So do something. So Swamiji is going to speak on that topic actually. So we'll do the Ramna. While we are chanting, let us pray for Dr. Devraj, one of our friends who is serious in hospital, and also my brother who had an heart attack. And then our trustee also, he's also in hospital, so Babu Salih will offer special prayers to all of them. Omeva Mata Chapita Omeva Bandhu Jasita Omeva Omeva Vidya Ravinam Omeva Omeva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Om Sri Ram, 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 Sri Ram. Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Sri Ram, Sita, Ram Sita, Ram Sita, Ram, Ram Sita, Ram Sita, Ram Sita, Ram. We'll call on our convener of the Sannyasa Council to introduce the Sannyasa Council and to give us a little insight to all of you what the Sannyasa Council is and what it stands for. Swami Vedanandaji Maharaj.
Dearest embodiments of peace and love, Om. It is an absolute honor to be with all of you today, and especially in the midst of our revered Pujya Swami Muktananda Ji Maharaj. In fact, we were so busy organizing Swamiji's arrival and with the work that we're constantly doing. 2 days ago, I told Swamiji Maharaj, you know what, Swamiji, in 2 days' time is the 12th. He said, what's happening on the 12th? I said, we're so busy, we forgot. He said, what did we forget? I said, it's 3 years since our foundation. And then he said, oh, what a double celebration, because it's so happy on the 12th. We are celebrating with all of you. So, with that in mind, at the end, there's some mithai just to sweeten your mouth on behalf of the council. You know, as sannyasis, we don't have much paisa, but anyway, we managed to get some mithai to sweeten your mouth and to thank you for your continued support. As you know, the Sannyasa Spiritual Council of South Africa was founded on the 12th of September 2021 for one primary reason, and that was unity. Unity in our diversity, beautiful diversity. Unity to finally fill the cracks, fill the divisions that have crept in, and present to you the sannyasis that were always amongst your midst, that work tirelessly within their missions, but finally have come together for the sake of Sanatana Dharma, leaving the institutions at the door, not to say that the institutions are not important, but leaving the name at the door and coming together just as sannyasins of Dharma, to be able to carry that Dhwaj high, that Om flag high, that Dhwani of Om high, to ensure that the values of Sanatana Dharma echo in the hearts of every human being. For Sanatana Dharma is not just for a particular crowd, a particular caste, or a particular race, or a particular linguistic group. The Vedas say, Manor Bhavajanaya Devyam Janam. O man, be human and create a society of divine enlightened beings. Ekam Sat Vipra Bauda Vadanti. God, the truth is one. The wise define that truth through many names. And it is with that unity, it is with that harmony, that today through our trials, tribulations, and challenges. We are with you 3 years later, forging ahead, and each year gets brighter, each year gets better. We're getting to know all of you, we're getting to celebrate with all of you. And through all the doubts and questions that arose before, finally we can all say that slowly but surely there is a bright light at the end of what was a seemingly dark tunnel. So to just light the way, I'm going to ask Pujya Swami Muktananda Ji Maharaj, together with Swami Chandikananda Ji Maharaj, Swami Guru Bhaktananda Ji Maharaj, Swami Loka Sangrananda Ji Maharaj, and our big bhai Swami Ram Kripananda Ji Maharaj, to please light the diya as I recite the key mantras that are close to the heart of all the sannyasins of the Sannyasa Council. Sankachadvam samvadhatvam sambho mananse janatam deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad to our respected sannyasis. So thank you once again. I won't say much because we're all looking forward to Swamiji's pravachan, and Sri Pradeep Ramlalji will introduce Swamiji, give you deeper insight into who Swamiji is and the amazing work that is being done by Swamiji as an inspiration to us all. So on behalf of the Sannyasa Spiritual Council of South Africa, thank you once again for your continued support, for braving the weather and for being with all of us. And please do remain with us right to the end. There's some sumptuous supper provided by the Sarva Dharma Ashram. And like I said, that tasty mithai for all of you at the end. Dhanyavad. Om Shanti.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Namaste, Namaskar, Om Shri Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. That is what we have come here to learn today. And from none other, from a saint, from one of the greatest South Indian ashrams, Anand Ashrams. We greet you in the name of Pujya Papa Swami Ramdas and Pujya Mataji Nyanya Krishna Bhai. All of us that are sitting in this audience today know the power of Ram Nam, and we must appreciate the contribution that Anand Ashram has made in spreading the name of Bhagwan Sri Ram. And we all know the challenges that Papa Ramdas experienced, including Pujya Mata Krishna Bhai, and forced her to turn towards the final solution to all problems, Ram Nam. We greet you today on behalf of the Adi Shankaracharya Ashram, the Sarva Dharma Ashram, and the Sri Sannyasa Spiritual Council of South Africa. Swami Vedananda has elaborated on why the council, Sannyasa Council, was formed. And in a nutshell, we all follow Sanatana Dharma, and there has to be Guru Parampara. And in this age of Kali Yuga, we need the sannyasins to guide South Africa in particular. Strangely and coincidentally, we have to import a great sannyasin in the form of Swami Muktananda to come here to shed more light on the importance of sannyas dharma. And I want to assure you, this spiritual council, the Sannyasa Spiritual Council, will be holding a national conference next year to stress the importance of sannyas dharma, something that we must emulate because this parampara keeps Sanatana Dharma alive. We mustn't be fooled into thinking that we have great devotees and they will continue without a sannyasa. It will never happen. Today, Pujya Swami Muktananda is accompanied by a close disciple, Datta Prasad. He has been here before and he takes enormous care in looking after Swami Muktananda. It's not easy to travel from the south of India and come here, spend difficult times and then go back to India because Swamiji has to go back because of Mother Krishnabai's Mahasamadhi celebrations, which is on the 2nd of October. So he has taken a lot of effort to come here. So we need to appreciate his time. It's more valuable than anything else. Swamiji was born in 1944 in Wayanad, in Kerala. And he was deeply inclined in spirituality from a very young age. The universal vision and the values that became the bedrock of his life were inspired by the pious and noble lives of his devout parents. Even while pursuing his professional life, he led an austere life and continued his spiritual practices. Later, he became inspired to the teachings of Papa Swami Ramdas, a renowned Indian saint, philosopher, philanthropist, and founder of the Anand Ashram. And he took initiation into monkhood from this very ashram. And I want to remind some of you that when the Divine Life Society of South Africa experienced so much of problems with black magic and hostile forces, it was Swami Sahajananda who turned to the Anand Ashram under Mother Krishnabai, and she gave the solution, she gave the help. Today we must never turn our backs against Anand Ashram. Anand Ashram was founded by Swami Ramdas and Mother Krishnabai, whom is worshipful as the Divine Mother. We all know her life story and how the divine name of Bhagwan Ram saved her and transformed her. We also know that how Papa Ramdas, in his book Vision of God, he experienced the divinity of all forms of God in all different faiths, but only through the grace of Ram. That is how powerful that name is. And we all know where Bhagwan Ram name is being chanted, Lord Ram is present also. Swamiji has established what is called the value integrated teaching and learning system. It's called VITAL. This has a short form. And also the Vishwaseva Education Trust. And his vision is to see God, to universalize the vision. And Papa Ramdas' book, Vision of God, if you have read it, then you will realize the importance of a saint like Swami Ramdas and Mother Krishnabai. Today, Swami Muktananda is an ambassador. He is a representative, he is also a direct disciple. So what Shakti Papa Ramdas carried and Mother Krishnabai, he is also carrying that same Shakti. So we have to revere him in that same way and appreciate that the saint has come to this shore. When everything else fails, people talk about world peace. But the final solution, the only world peace, is repetition of the divine name in the form of Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. And you repeat it all the time, you will get some peace and solace in this world, and you will transfer that vibration into others, and you will change the vibration in the atmosphere. So we want to welcome Pujya Swami Muktananda Ji to the shores of South Africa. Perhaps you have indicated this is your last travel abroad, but we wish that you continue to stay in contact with all of us, and we receive your darshan today. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, brother. I will hand you over to Swamiji now. Swamiji, I don't like big, what you call show and things like that. He's a very simple Swami. As you notice, he never took a garland in his hand and then took up the table. And that is offering to the great masters, Mother Krishnabai and Papa Ramdas. Swamiji,
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Revered Swamijis, brothers and sisters, mentally offering our pranams to all of you. It gives us great joy to be in the midst of you all and share some thoughts which Param Pujya Papa Swami Ramdas, Param Pujya Mataji Krishnabai, Param Pujya Swami Sachidanandaji, they have showered on us. Yes, Anandashram, the mainstay of Anandashram is remembering God through chanting of His name. The founder of the ashram, Param Pujya Papa Swami Ramdas, and Param Pujya Mataji Krishnabai, the first and foremost disciple of Papa, when they established the ashram in 1931 in the northern part of Kerala state of South India, he made it very clear that the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. Based upon the vision of divinity, that which is the common denominator in all of us. The essence of all of us, the core of all of us. Based upon that, we cannot but love, we cannot but serve. So when the Nama is chanted, the right perspective was writ large. And that is why in a short time we could scale the heights. Scale the heights means to become aware of the presence of this indwelling and all-pervading reality, whom we call as Spirit, Atma, or God, or Almighty Lord of the Universe, whatever we call it. He also made it clear right from the very start that this Spirit, he has defined it as subtle and mysterious power. When we go through the biographies of the Master, we find that our sadhana becomes more and more effective only when we have the right perspective from the very start. So when he started chanting the holy and all-powerful Brahma, he had his right perspective. That this Ram stands for the one who is in anything and everything, the manifested and unmanifested. As spirit, it is static. As creation, it is dynamic. He was very clear. In order to get established in it, we must feel the awareness of the power within us. The one which is now making us to talk. The one which is seated in everybody, which is making everybody to hear. The one spiritual power, because of which we are seeing through our eyes, we are hearing through our ears, tasting through our tongue, smelling through our nose,
touching through our skin, thinking through our mind and intellect. Fractal and mysterious power. Any name can be given based upon our cultural background, traditions. But what is essential is to have the right concept. With that bhavana, with that attitude, though initially he was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. That was in 1920. He was also a grihastha, a householder. Wife and child was there. He was involved in textile business, the dyeing saris and all those things, in a place called Mangalore. And somehow, later on we find from the words of Master that God has assigned to all of us a particular role to perform in the scheme of things. And he selected, as like any other Mahatmas, that the time has come for him to recede from the present level of activities and to turn his mind towards the purpose for which he has been drafted. The instrumental cause was successive failures in his professional career, a stressful life in his domestic life, and all these things forced him to find an answer for the very purpose of the life. That inquiry was answered through the words of great Mahatmas, and finally he started chanting. He gave a name. We connect it because in one of his articles he has mentioned that when Mahatma Gandhi, when he was passing through Mangalore in 1920, there was a big meeting. At a distance he could see Mahatmaji. And then he said that was the first spiritual touch he had. And you all know, Mahatmaji was a votary of Ram now. And the Ram stands for the unique Atma Ram. So after that, he started chanting Ram, 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 Ram. And with the background, this Ram stands for what? The one which is behind every activity. The one which is the basis. The one which is behind every manifestation. That was very clear. And he started chanting. And why he started chanting? He cried. Where is rest? Where is peace? And intuitively he heard the prayer. And the prayer was answered intuitively. And he heard the answer thus, trust me, you shall be free. At the moment the trust started building up in him, he was finding solace, peace of mind, a freedom, and that gave him the impetus, the push to keep on chanting. He meditated and then chanted, not that he chanted first. Meditated means all the attributes. He was very clear right from the start that the power that is making us, all of us, feel that we are, the beingness, that is common in anything and everything. With that background, that is called meditation. And with that background, he started chanting. So to remember that power, the indwelling reality, which is also the all-pervading reality, later on he was able to scale the heights and declare. So with that background, he started chanting. And even the period was so small, the meditation and chanting was taking regularly. When the concentration was shifted, the priority was shifted, the preference was shifted to the remembrance of God through chanting of name, naturally he started receding from the usual field of activities. one of his friends came forward and told him that he would be able to step into his business and become the chief of administration and finance, and all that Papa has to do. Papa's name was Vittal Rao at that time. All that Vittal Rao has to do is to take charge of the protection. Naturally, you and I, when we are passing through such a stressful period, if somebody has come forward to help us in the sinking unit, we will say, God has helped me and then I'll carry on with that. No? But in Papa's case, it was very clear that this relief is only answering the ephemerals, not the eternal. And he was blessed with the vision that he should concentrate upon more and more on the eternal, that which stays, that which does not change from time to time. So he was not carried away by that initiative, though outwardly he was relieved from the stressful period. And then the remembrance, the galloping effort on his part to remember this principle through chanting. It started occupying his mind for 22 hours or 24 hours. Automatically the self-denials. He has to free himself from the comfort zones. Because you and I, with whatever ideas we may have, still we are all in the grip of comfort zones. And the comfort zone occupies our mind space. He wanted to make available as much space as possible for God remembrance. So then, instead of 3 meals, he switched over to 2 and 2 to 1, and 1 also was only boiled vegetables without any spices. Instead of too many clothes we wear now, he was able to reduce to 2, 1 upper cloth and 1 and a cowpea. And instead of bed, he was using only a mat. So all those things, provided ample mind space to remember him, to remember him, to remember him, through chanting. So chanting is for remembrance. Chanting is not for chanting. He was very clear about it. Remembering of whom? Remembering of the power which makes us to remember. No? Remembering of the power which makes us to chant. He was very clear. With that bhavana, when he started doing it, it got intensified. The family became panicky. Wife, child, brothers, everybody thought something has gone off the head. He had become indifferent to the normal, common run of life. So they tried their level best to bring him back to the old normal pattern, but they couldn't. And they sent word to their fair father, because they thought if father says he might hear. Father was then in a place called Udupi with another son. So immediately he rushed up. As soon as he rushed up and saw Vittal Rao, he was beaming with blissful mindset. So he asked, son, what is happening to you? This answer is very important for devotees like us. He said, God is making me to chant His name. See that word. God is making me to chant His name. He was very clear about that. Then Father said, what sannyasi had given me a mantra, which I will pass it on to you. He said, if we chant this mantra, we will get peace. So he made him to sit and made him to repeat Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. He considered his father as his guru and started chanting instead of Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Later on he was prompted to go through intensely the works of Swami Ramtirtha, a very great saint. Probably many of you might have heard about him. And he has brought out 7 books, inputs of God realization, in which he gives a lot of importance for Pranava Mantra. Oh, elaborately discussed about it. So Papa was enthused and prompted to add that O to Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. So that is how the mantra came. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Later on, for people like us to know what this name stands for, he has also given the meaning. Om stands for the Nirguna Nirakara aspect, the nameless, formless aspect. Sri stands for the with name, with form aspect. Ram stands for both and beyond both. Jai stands for victory. Victory to that power who is without name and form, who is also with name and form, who is both and beyond both. This is the meaning. For enabling us to understand, in his first book, In Quest of God, he mentioned this indwelling and all-pervading reality as the great void. A little bit of pondering over it might give us some clarity about this nameless, formless, with name and form, both and beyond both. Prior to the construction of this building and the hall, it was a nameless, formless space. This particular area. When it was constructed, and when a name was given to the building, it has got a name and form now. This space, we don't say a space. This hall. God forbid, when we remove the wall and the roof, again it is restored back to the nameless, formless one. So this space, this limited space, which did not have any name and form, at the same time which does have a name and form now, it is both staying in the overall space which is nameless and formless. So it is like that, the awareness of consciousness, the life force, the intelligence, these are all some of the words he used to convey the characteristic of the subtle and mysterious power. So he started chanting. In 2 years' time, because of this right perspective, he was able to get stabilized in the truth. But whatever is happening only by the subtle and mysterious power through many of his creation. And whatever is happening for the ultimate good. Anybody and everybody, any creation. And then later on, he was also prompted, sitting in a particular place and realizing it might at a later age give us some limitation or deny us to have the comprehensive realization. So he was prompted to leave everything and go out with nothing to fall back upon, excepting on relying on his inner and outer reality. The saga started in 1927, on December 27th, 1922, He left everything. And with only this remembrance through chanting of the name, 8 to 9 months, he travelled from the deep south to the extreme north, with nothing to fall back upon. Nobody was a stranger to him. Normally, when we react to events and individuals, we put a label, good, bad, comfortable, not comfortable. But here, throughout this life, throughout this yatra, when he was made to pass through testing moments, none of them were labeled as negative, because everything was attributed to the indwelling and all-pervading reality through various creation. The first book is called In Quest of God. Throughout that you will find the remembrance was kept alive 24 hours through chanting. And the chanting does not mean only vocal chanting. The chanting later on got graduated to mental chanting. So that we will not be a problem to anybody. So he also advocates that mental chanting will be far more effective than vocal chanting, to go inward, to feel his presence. So that is how he came back. Again he went out. So many things God made him to pass through. And finally, the present Ananda Ashram in a place called Kanjangar, in the northern part of Kerala, he established. So when he established this now, the ashram, he was very clear about the realization he had. It is not something acquired in the realization. Realization of the indwelling reality which is within us. We are all struggling to realize the presence. That is why it's called God realization. It is not something we are acquiring. It is realizing our own original nature. Back to our own original home, real home, from where we started. This was very clear. And then that is why he could say that the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. It is not social service. In social service, we help somebody, we as an individual try to help other individuals or other creatures. We don't bring in the God dimension. Here, the love and service is defined as something which is based on the vision of divinity in everybody. So for that, one has to realize first within, then only one will be able to see the same realization in everybody. So this was the background of Ramanam chanting. And it expresses in the form of love and service. You cannot but love, you cannot but serve. Because there is no otherness. When we keep on scaling the heights, the way in which we have done, there won't be any otherness. So that means love gets expressed in the form of loving and serving. This is the claim. When we come back as spiritual aspirants or devotees, we may find different types of approach, different types of taste, temperament, inclination, aptitude, different types of behavior in any field in which we are, in the family level, professional level, social level. These are the three tiers through which all of us function or express our sense of individuality. Early morning when we get up, we become the member of the family. When we move to the field of profession, we become a professional being. When we are with our friends, we are a social being. So what is required is, if we are in a position to accept this principle, that what is being articulated or piloted or projected by different individuals, different objects, different situations. These are the three things which we come across. Objects, persons, situation. In these three types, how do we maintain awareness of the divinity? Here comes the constant chanting of Rama. Any name, Rama. Everything is happening only by His will. Everybody is unique. Everyone's method also has to be unique. We try to accept this. Anything you look at, varieties are there. Even for our basic existence, we need air to breathe, water to drink, earth to exist, space to move about, 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit to make us live. We need sun, We need metals, minerals, gases, grains, vegetables, pulses, fruits, all are varied, Nothing is in a unified form. How can we expect it? So the question is, when I deal with men and matters, the stress I get, or the problems I face, or the challenges I have to meet with, or the commitment that I have to honor, all these things depend upon my evaluation or my judgment on these three things. When I insist that everything should be as I feel, my rights and wrongs, my preferences, my priorities, my ambitions, desires, my attachment towards my name, fame, power, position, it comes before me and it prevents me from identifying the common denominator in everybody. This Papa was able to share with us. So each one is unique. And so we have to accept each one as unique. That will definitely release the stress we are having. Each one's approach also has to be unique. But if we try to maintain, suppose in this mala, in this rosary, all these different types of flowers are being seen as a one mala because of the thread. Outwardly, all these things are different from each other. But there is a thread that unites everything. So the Ramnam chanting or the mantra chanting is to remember the thread behind the varied manifestations of life. So this Tulsi will not say, why are you like this? This rose will not say, why are you like this? Because each one tries to accept everything else. Even in our own body, see how many we were told by a doctor that more than 400 organs are there. Each one is unique, Each one's performance is unique. But we find there is one spirit, in the absence of which all the sense organs refuse to work. In a dead body we see that. But the life force is there. The one which makes our heart to beat 1 lakh times a day. The one which makes the blood to circulate from head to toe. One doctor said 6 liters of blood is being pumped for 1,20,000 kilometers a day in our body. That is why we can move. And when we eat the food, the digestion takes place. What is needed for the body, what is needed for the bone, what is needed for the blood, it takes away. What is not needed by these three, it is purged out in the form of stool and urine. Just think about it. Do we insist that eye should behave like ear? Do we insist that ear should behave like tongue? We recognize that each one has a defined role to play, and all the concerted, coordinated activity makes us what we are today. So God wants us to look at ourselves first. And how can we insist that everyone should grow our land? Look at flowers are different, vegetables are different, fruits are different, and we enjoy everything. Even at home, do we prepare the same breakfast every day? Do we have the same dishes every day? Do we have the same dress every day? We want varieties. Even in this room, not one type of light, different types of light. Just think about it. Different types of socks, different types of sweaters, different types of head cover. We all recognize unknowingly the relevance of this varied manifestation. But when it comes to dealing with men and matters, unknowingly and unwittingly, we try to insist that there should be a uniformity. Papa points out, because we are not aware of the thread, the common denominator factor in all of us, whose name we are chanting. That is why in chanting he used to say, we should be aware that we are chanting the name of one who is within us and who is making us to chant. Not an outside power. Initially, it may be an intellectual exercise, a superficial thought that we are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making us to chant. Then slowly we are trying to understand. Just like we read the universal prayer, normally we read it as a ritual, but one day we will try to go through this. What is expected of us will become more and more clear to us. Similarly, when Nama chanting, it will be there. Then later on we will think, why am I chanting? What is happening to me after this chanting? So chanting with the right perspective sets the process of purification. What is purification? Purification means the me and mine, which is dominating me now, which is making me unaware of the thread, the common thread in all of us. So the moment I become subservient to that power, at least for a short time in a day, slowly it will start percolating, and it will have its own sway or influence on all my thoughts, all my words, all my deeds. So that is why Papa used to say, Nama is the easiest sadhana. Nama Japa is the easiest sadhana to purify ourselves. Purifying means becoming aware of the indwelling reality and making us aware that the body, mind, intellect equipment has been given to us to perform His will through us. This is becoming clear now. His will through us. He is the activating, pulsating, motivating force. So Papa wants us to every now and then think about it. That's why he said we are chanting the name of one who makes my heart to beat, who makes the digestion to take place, who makes the blood circulation to take place, who makes my breathing possible. In all these four functions, with the sense of individuality has no role. Just start thinking about it. Suppose we feel the pulse and say stop, will it stop? Will the blood circulation stop? Will the breathing stop? Will the digestion stop? If we say something, that means we have no role. So what do we give that power? Papa says life force. Life is the expression of Atma. Later on when we go to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we find Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu. I am there in the form of life force. And for enabling us to move in that direction, he also prescribed one more method. How to make the Nama chanting more effective, how to develop the right perspective. He said, go to the source of your and the world life. Normally when we try to understand our source, we feel, we have come from our parents. True. But we have come from our parents, but they can't be the original source, first cause. Because they were born to their parents. They were born to their parents. They were born to their parents. We keep on repeating the song. Up to 2 or 3 probably we might be able to identify. Beyond that the intellect cannot reach. But at the same time we know, without cause there cannot be any effect. And we are there in a tangible form. So there has to be a first cause. As somebody put it as uncaused cause. A cause which is not subject to cause and effect. The first cause. Papa names it as first cause. So Ram stands for first cause. And this first cause, when it's due to the self-propagation theory, has also entered into our father and the mother's womb, then I was there deposited as the seed. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the eternal seed of everything. So God has been with us right from the beginning. then during the 9.5 months, the same power, just like when we sow a seed, how it sprouts, the taproot, the feeder root, the stem, the branches, the leaves, like that, in the 9.5 months, this 400 odd organs also got sprung, explicit. Now, we had no role. The sense of individuality had no role either in the seed level or in the formation of this body-mind intellect. And we came out, mothers will know, we did not bring anything. Whatever is needed, now we are trying to understand the import of God's name. The moment we land from our mother's womb, first thing we need is air to breathe. No? Have we provided air for us? Did we bring any oxygen cylinder? Air to breathe, water to drink, earth to exist, space to move about. We did not. Everything has been provided by that power through Mother Nature. Sun, rains, metals, minerals, gases, vegetables, fruits, pulses, everything, whatever we use. And then, this is very important for all of us. When we started growing, we started demanding various creature comforts. One by one, one by one, one by one. It includes everything. Right from the moment we get up in the morning, we see our bedspread, our pillow, our cot, our building, electricity, fan, light, AC, heater. When we come out the road, automobile, language, education, field of profession, we have not done anything. We have hardly thought about this, When Papa said, go to the source of your and the world life. So not only that he is our master, he is the great provider, he is the originator, he is the creator, but he is also the great provider who has been providing everything through two departments. One is Mother Nature, the other one is society. Through his selected instruments, whom we name it as scientists, he brings out one by one, one by one, one by one. Neither the Mother Nature nor the society specified the beneficiary. The chair on which we are sitting now, the table that is before us, the light, anything, the person who brought it out through discovery, invention and innovation did not name or specify the beneficiary. Neither Mother Nature nor society named or specified any beneficiary. But unknowingly, unwittingly, we limit ourselves to me and mine. So Papa says, when we start remembering the common denominator, the originator as well as the great provider, the sense of me and mine gets reduced. We start expanding from me to we to him. When we are using these specs, we don't know the person who conceived these specs in the world. We don't know the number of people involved in bringing out the specs, but we are using enough. So similarly, right from morning till night, whatever I use, it has all come from factors other than me. So my prayer is, all my thoughts, all my words, all my deeds also should be beneficial to others. Sarva Bhuta Hiterata, Bhagavad Gita. It should be beneficial. This is how the process of purification starts. I fail, I forget. Nama chanting reminds me. Every now and then I fail. Nama puts me and puts me on the way. Hey, you should not have talked like that. You should not have thought like that. You should not have done like that. That is why he said, Nama sets you on the process of purification. And we have been promised that when we try to live up to these, slowly we get ourselves freed from the toils of individualism. No? We have put ourselves in the prison. We ourselves have created the me and mine prison. When we slowly get out of it, and don't think we have run away from any field. Every field is given by him. Whether he is a grihastha, whether he is a sannyasi, whether he is an atheist, whether he is a theist, in everyone he is there in equal measure. Everyone has a role to perform. We will be given the prompting to act, react, proact. We don't have to keep quiet. Everything will be given by Him. The only thing is, we have to link ourselves with Him. There is a beautiful word of Papa. Unless you link with the author of your being, your life is in vain. Unless you link your life with the author of your being, your life is in vain. So to establish that link, the easiest way is to remember Him through chanting any name of God. When He said easy, it is not easy, it's a tough job. But easy in the way, in the sense, it can be practiced anywhere, at any time, in any place. There is no fixed norms. Because He has been with us, There is not a single time when He is away from us. Even when we did not recognize Him, even when we did not worship Him, even when we denied Him, even when we overlooked Him or ignored Him, He has not left us. This we start thinking. This is how the Nama chanting becomes more and more effective. And the circle of love is widened. And acceptance, which is called surrender, acceptance of all situations, becomes a reality in our life. This is how the life is set on a blissful life. When you say bliss, He has defined the bliss as objectless happiness. When we say happy life, it is dependent upon either an object or a person or a situation. But here, this is purely independent. So He named it as objectless happiness. A happiness which is rooted in us, which is the core of our being. It doesn't need any appendage, anything else. All that we have to do is, as somebody put it, we have to unlearn what we have learned. We have to go with the spiritual nakedness of the soul. And when we come back, we adorn any apron, any dress, any role. But we have the feeling. Just like when we are an actor in a cinema or a drama, from the green room. In the green room, all of us are equal. But when we are on the stage, we are a villain, we are a hero, we are a supporter, we are so many things, And when we go back, we are back again to our original sense. So this is what Papa placed before us. And by their grace, and Pujya Mataji was the first and foremost disciple. And her life is, an embodiment of absence of otherness. Papa is an embodiment of bliss absolute. And later on in 1949, Pujya Swami Sachidanandaji joined the ashram, and he served 14 years for Pujya Papa, 40 years for Pujya Mataji. And after Pujya Mataji's Mahasamadhi in 1989, he became our spiritual guide. He was an embodiment of not only self-effacement, humbleness and humility, but also expressing in the form of silence of his love for everybody. We are very happy to go through those biographical sketches as a part of our sadhana. And we request everybody, when you happen to visit India, do visit us. You can get all the details from Swami Ramprabhanji about ashram. There is a website of ashrams. What activities are. Nothing is initiated, nothing is mobilized, nothing is planned. Because his subservience to the power was total. So 93 years have passed now. Even today it is run on the same basis. That is same legacy. By their grace it is going on. In one of his quotations he said, God arranges all things in His own way at the time He appoints. This is not a tall talk. We have been witnessing it now. Ever since we were drawn to ashram's thought, we have been witnessing, more so from 1989. Our first visit was in 1964, immediately after Papa dropped the body. And then we met Pujya Mataji, and then we were able to, through Mataji, we were able to go through Papa's teachings. The moment you enter Ananda Ashram, you will hear Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. We may not know anything background, but we have discussed. But something, some inexplicable feeling of pleasant feeling that wells up in our heart. Then slowly we try to understand the significance behind it, and then we carry on with it. So we request all of you to take to chanting of any name you are comfortable with this background, so that you will be able to lead a successful, prosperous, blissful life in your own field. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Okay, for those who have not been to the Ananda Ashram, many years ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago, I went to Ananda Ashram. And I landed there, the bus leaves Delhi, Bangalore, and it goes overnight to Kanaghat, where the ashram is. And I've been there for the first time. And we landed there at 4 o'clock in the morning. We took the bus overnight, sleepers. And there was a very lean, dark-looking person with the glasses. He came to the bus and he carried my bag inside. And he said, come inside. So, it's 4 o'clock in the morning because the satsangis are still getting out of bed. 5 o'clock the program starts at the Ananda Ashram. So then he put me in the room. So I went and had a good sleep, got up, had my breakfast, tea, lunch, supper, everything is 5-star, and it is provided every day, all day. Right? Then when I got up, all I can hear is Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram. And the whole day it started 12 hours non-stop. And for, I don't know how many years, Swamiji said, how many years Ram Ram is going on for?
93 years.
93 years. So, non-stop. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai. No matter what part of the ashram you are, you can hear that Ram Ram. 12 hours non-stop. Then of course bhajan and everything that goes on, the bhajan goes on in the afternoon, bhajans also, the bhajan, everything. So then when I had my sleep, I got up. And then there was Swami Satchidananda was giving a talk. And I'm thinking, what? The gentleman carried my bag in the morning, took me to the room. He is the president of the Ananda Ashram. I broke, I don't know, I was like in pieces, because we can never have it in South Africa or anywhere. The Swami will never touch your bag or carry you to the room, understand? And that is the simplicity and the surrender that Swamiji was speaking about. That seeing Ram in everyone and serving Ram in everyone. And I witnessed it there, and from that day, I was absolutely attached to Swami Satchidananda, and I've been there several times. So anyway, and whenever I'm in India, I must go to Ananda Ashram. It's the home of this. So whoever has been there, you are lucky. Whoever has not been there, you've got to make your trip. It's a little bit out of the way, but non-stop Ram Nam. You can just sit under the tree anywhere. No one worries you. Whether you want to chant, chant. You don't want to chant, you don't chant. You just sit there, because automatically you are chanting because you're hearing someone else is chanting. So we're going to take a few, while the food is going to get hot and laid out, then we will just take a few questions. Swamiji?
Swamiji, when you say non-stop, it's not actually non-stop. Morning 6 to evening 6. Half an hour then, half an hour ready. In Samadhi was 6. And in Bhajan Hall, there is a specified time for Ramna. And one more thing, Swamiji was sharing this out. One thing well done which we forgot to share. During the non-chanting time, Papa wanted us to bear in our mind that our outer activity should be compatible with the inner aspiration. Inner aspiration is to remember Him. So in all our thoughts and words and deeds, it should have its own influence. So to understand, we can put it. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. And he has specifically mentioned, for people like us who, somebody names it as that we are in ashram. He said impersonality is the keynote of his mission. The individual does not matter there. Ideal matters. Impersonality is the keynote of its mission. So the me and mine should not come in even in a lighter way. That is what Papa wants. Yes.
Thank you. So, if anyone's got any questions for Swamiji, please feel free to ask the question. Swamiji likes interacting, but when Swamiji starts talking for breakfast, 2 hours, don't stop. He's got so much to say. He's a walking encyclopedia of love and compassion. And so, if you want any questions, please feel free to ask. You have no questions? When Swamiji is gone, then you'll ask the question. I'll ask you, why please? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Jai Shri Ram, Swami. So, if everything is the will of God, everything happens because of the will of God, then if there's anything bad that happens or anything bad that a person does, is that God's will as well? For instance, if somebody is stealing or killing or doing something that's not
Yes, it's a very, very practical question. Everything happens only by God. And then we have got the right concept of God. The life force in that object or the person or the situation is also motivated by Him. We don't know the why and whereof. Later on we will come to realize that He has got a place in the scheme of things. And just because what is happening is not comfortable for us, don't think we have to keep quiet. Papa puts it in a very simple analogy. God prompts somebody to steal. God prompts the police to catch hold of him. God prompts the judge to punish him. Because from that plane, we have not reached that height. We are still in the individual. So it is natural. Favorable, unfavorable. We put a label on it. And we react. But even the very reaction that comes, only because of Him. He gives us a field. When somebody comes at your doorstep and says he has not had his meal for 3 days and he looks emaciated, you immediately run up to the kitchen, bring something and give it. Somebody sees and says, oh, how compassionate you are. But now you realize, to make me know that I have got compassion, I need a field, you know. He could have gone to somebody else, but he chose to come to me. So we will not name it as why God is making him to suffer or starve. So every opportunity is given to us to work out. Even in an office, when one of our subordinates or somebody, due to dereliction of duty or something, not incompatible with our ideas, when he does, we may have to take disciplinary action. But at the same time, we are doing it only for the dharma. No? We should be able to differentiate the person from the wrong things done. Wrong things as we have defined. So we take action, at the same time we keep our love. God prompted him to do that. God prompted us to do that. So we try to identify the common factor at every testing moment and trying moment. This is very easy to say in a platform like this. But when we are in the actual field, it may be difficult. But even if we fail or forget, in the shortest possible time, Nama chanting will pull us back and make us aware of this. So not that when we say accepting every situation as they are. And he prompts us to react. That's why he said, when somebody is prompted to steal, the police will not say, God is stealing, I will not take action. No. The so-called labeled atrocities or injustice, when it is happening, Papa specifically said, you will get the prompting to act, to protect, to prevent. This is the role he gives you, and he gives you a field to act. If this is becoming clear, this will become clear when we take the chanting of Nam with the right perspective. So don't think we will keep quiet. We will be prompted to do whatever is needed. We don't take up the ownership. The Nama chanting will enable us. A stage will come when the sense of individuality or doership or sufferership be eliminated. And what remains is only a functional ego, not the ego of what we have now. It just acts. It acts as a functional ego. So long as I continue to be an embodied self, there are certain things which as an individual I will have. But it's a different ego. It's a purified ego. Pakka ego and kacha ego, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. That means the functional ego and the egoistic ego. So we will react. The functional ego will react as we keep on purifying this me and my. Don't think we will keep quiet. The whole company called the Jagat. When he is the CEO, each one of us has been given an assignment to perform. We become conscious of that fact through remembering him, through chanting of his name.
Okay, next question.
Swamiji, thank
Yes.
you very much for your lecture. And Swamiji, what I'd like to know is, you can just give one or two sentences about your vital education system.
Vital education.
Value education.
Vital education. Spirituality means when we identify the common denominator, it enables us to widen our love circle. It comes out in the form of values. Personal values, social values. At the moment, our education system does not unknowingly, unwittingly give importance for values. It lays more and more stress on academic excellence. It's okay. But along with that academicism, we are not human beings. We have to be humane. So we were prompted to take up a project based on the fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution of India. Because everybody can interpret values, but there should be some base from which we should be able to. So fortunately, the Constitution of India has these fundamental duties. Normally, we only highlight the rights. We hardly think about the duties. So then we were prompted, as a part of our spiritual sadhana, we also try to bring in these values based upon the fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution and try to integrate with the text, academic education. So a team of people that all came only because of Vital. So they all sat together, went through the entire text from 6th standard to 10th standard, and then went through mathematics, science, social studies, like that. And then they tried to integrate this value dimension for every chapter in the form of, not all talk, in the form of an example. This process enabled us to know that in anything and everything he is there in the form of values. Goodness. Goodness is godliness. So we started experimenting it. Previously, it came out in the first we started in 1999, Forum for Enlightening Values. We did not know the methodology. So we started sharing incidents which touch and kindle our heart. And then slowly it blossomed as Vishwa Seva Educational Trust. We have a campsite in Wayanad where now regularly children are coming and they will stay there. There are 4 facilitators who will bring out this in a non-teaching, non-preaching, non-judgmental manner. We don't bring in the word religion or spirituality there because, as you know, Kerala, it is difficult to bring in that word. So we try to bring in spirituality in the form of values. And later on, this vital, value-integrated teaching and learning, that also became an offshoot. And now in ashram, we are having almost 2-3 times in a week, 30 to 40 students from different schools, they come They spent about 3.5 hours with us. One facilitator is there. He will approach in this manner, touch and kindle the goodness in them. Don't give a long lecture. They don't need. They will go away. The present generation, if you start lecturing, they will go away. Because they don't need. That is the truth. We have to accept the truth. Google Baba is there for indicators in a small thing called mobile. Whatever you need, you just go, it is there. Swamiji is having here, no? Anything and everything. So why do they require anything from the school or the elders or teachers? So this background we should know. And from our experience, 2023, 2024, the statistics, we were also stunned. About 4,500 children have come and gone. And when at the end of our program, we give them a sheet and tell them to write down their feedback. Amazing. That is the one which gives us the enthusiasm to continue the project. Amazing, really amazing. Brilliant, brilliant ideas. That means when we don't plug their enthusiasm, when we facilitate them to blossom in their own way, they bring it out in a beautiful way. So this is what is called vital. It is still going on. We don't make an initiative. Schools send their children in their own vehicle. We give them only meals after they go. That's all. Very, very great. So spirituality in one form, traditional form, in the form of Nama chanting and all those things. The other form, for the growing generation, in the form of this vital reset.
Thank you, Swami.
Okay, we'll take one more last question, as you say in South Africa. I love you. Yes, Dad?
Similarly, very part of 50, 60, 70, 80 are to go to Divine Life Society. The Swamiji was Sahajanand there, and come Hridyanand, Chidanand. Swamiji Sahajanand was a very strict person. If thought come in your mind and you see it, unpleasant, just can't say it out of your buddhi. Don't entertain the wrong thought.
It's not a question. It's not a question.
Okay, yes.
No, why you see, our head is straight. Animal's head is land, plant head on the ground. We got buddhi, intelligence.
Thank you.
Thought will come in your mind. Thought come in your mind. You have buddhi, analyze it quickly.
Thanks.
If
we
you're
have
wrong,
one lecturer, Swamiji. Can we have another question here, please? The last question.
In the front.
Sorry, bye.
Swamiji.
Yes.
Aapko Dandavat Pranam. And all the sannyas councils. My pranams to one and all seated here today. The power of chanting the holy names, especially in South Africa, we do a lot of preaching as well, and also encouraging for chanting the holy names of the Lord. But the youth or the children, they are not taken to that. And now the fear is that when the generation that's going to pass on, what is going to happen to the future generation, the youth? If they're not going to get into sadhana, if they're not going to get into bhakti, what will be their spiritual life? So how can we encourage, at least the parents, to encourage the children to get into the spiritual life? We live two lives, one material life we live and one spiritual life. But our spiritual life is not our spiritual life. Yes. Generally it is dark. There is no light. So how can we bring in the light?
We should first of all recognize, accept that the methodology used by our elders to us has to be changed. We are moving in a digital era. God is praising all these new science and technology. Through science and technology, He is bringing out new things. So everything has to be answered in that level. The present youth are not receptive because we try to follow the usual one. Now the pertinent question is spiritual life and material life. Papa used to say, spiritual science and material science are the two sides of the same coin, not to be belittled, not to be ignored. Everything has come from him. He is prompting the person, as we said, when there was no amplifier or mic in the world, he made somebody to think. And we are using it, we are enjoying it. When there was no dress in the world, he made somebody to think about it, we are using it. So science, we name it as material science. Yes, the spiritual science and material science are science-based. When we unknowingly violate, we get violated. So we should know this. With this background, let's suppose we start sharing. Anything that is why we said, when you handle anything with a touch of love, with a touch of perfection, with a touch of dedication, with a touch of gratitude, even when we handle this, even when we handle this, even when we handle this, this is going to be the lesson for them. Everything is a gift of God. Right from the tiniest to the grossest. If I start identifying it, trying to identify, I may fail, I may forget. But out of the 100 transactions in a day, if I am successful in bringing this dimension to 25, 30, 40, the growing generation will start looking at it. Then they may ask why. When you drink, suppose a paper glass, and after drinking, suppose you throw it in the waste paper basket, now you will not throw it. You recognize the role played by that cup. So when you put it, you will not throw it, you put it like this. It's a gift of God. Somebody has been prompted to bring it out, in the form of a concept and a series of processing. Now we are having a cup of coffee in the morning, just imagine. Coffee is a berry in a plant. He made somebody to look at the berry, and made somebody to have a process. This berry has to be ripened, and then afterwards it has to be plucked, then it has to be dried, the husk has to be removed through a huller, and then it has to be roasted, then it has to be powdered, then put it in the filter, take decoction, then it comes on your table as a cup of coffee. All these processes, where from it has come? God prompted his God. So anything that I handle, if I have this mantra, handle it with a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of gratitude, touch of dedication. Whether I am a doctor, whether I am a government employee, whether I am a businessman, whether I am in whatever field I am, whether I am a father or a brother or a husband or a wife, wherever I am, whatever I handle, if I try to maintain through remembering him, there comes the chanting. Anything that I handle, nothing in a half-assed, clumsy, irregular, half-hearted way. Nothing. We will not throw tomorrow when we give for washing. No. We duly recognize the role it has played today to keep me warm, to keep me presentable. So everything and nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Suppose we try to pass it on to the younger generation, we need not give any talk. Through our very action, in anything and everything. Previously, we may be doing it as a part of discipline. Now we do it as a part of our remembrance.
I think more injecting love into them.
Injecting love.
Correct.
Yeah, that's it.
Through whatever way.
I was asked this question once.
Even while washing our plates, even while cutting the vegetables, even while using the knife to cut the vegetable, even the soap or something, that vim or whatever to clean the vessels, even when you switch on the gas, switch off the gas, everywhere you will try to, when there was no gas in the world. If we start doing it, the message will indirectly go to the growing generation. Why are you doing it, they may ask. Then you will say this. So So there is no divide between spiritual and worldly. Everything is spiritual. Material life and spiritual life, no. Unfortunately, we have developed that feeling. Those who are wearing this, they are supposed to be the ambassadors of spirituality. Those who are in this dress, they are all material. No, no, certainly not. All are spiritual. In Bhagavad Gita, you may not be knowing. Bhagavan clearly says, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. He is equal in every creation. Not 25% in somebody, 45% in somebody. He is equal in everybody. When somebody said about the thought, negative thought comes in, it will go only when we are 100% sure of this. Otherwise it will be a quotation, that's all. The moment a doubtful thought rises in my mind, suppose my chanting is very solid, oh, God must have something. Very difficult for me to agree the situation, but I know, but here you have othered it. There will be a resistance, inner resistance, but slowly, it will go. Acceptance will slowly take it. Because we are accepting that it is also ordained by Him, either to purify me, to test me. Swami Chidanji Maharaj used to say, daily sadhana and daily life. Daily sadhana, okay, we do chanting, we do bhajan, we have our own disciplines. But it has to be tested, That is why God has given us the daily life. Family life, professional life, social life is the field where we try to test our sadhana. If we bear in mind, this thought, through chanting, everywhere you try to link this with chanting. So the chanting should have all these backgrounds. That is why he said meditated and chanted. And it is possible, we have seen the three masters' lives, all Mahatmas. But we have close association with these three masters, so we can authenticate and say this is possible, this is not at all talk. Nothing is irrelevant. Nothing is unimportant. Nothing is insignificant. So if we try to translate this into our daily life, that will send a strong message to our growing generation. This is what we feel. At the moment, this is what he makes us to feel.
Thank you, Swamiji Maharaj.
Thank you,
so we'll close now for dinner. So please, food is at the back. So let us just do the food mantra and then you can... well, Swamiji is at the Sarvadharma Ashram. Tomorrow is a little bit busy and we'll be on the Southway Radio at 11 o'clock. So those who want to listen to Swamiji. And then in the afternoon we are going to Togat. So those who in that area you want to come and join, so please, Vishwarup Temple, we're going to be there at 6 o'clock. So come early and then join, and then you ask Swamiji some questions. We sit and talk in the morning some beautiful things about children and education, but unfortunately people got to drive home, so we Sunday at Sarvadharma Ashram, Saturday afternoon in Peter Marisburg. But if you come Sunday morning to Sarvadharma Ashram, I would ask Swamiji to speak on how we approach the children at the school. What he's going to tell the children, but how the children spoke to the Swami. So if you can come on Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning, Satsang will start, and finish at 12. Breakfast and lunch is served. It's all for free. So let us do the food prayer and you can please help us. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shivananda, 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 Parimam, Chidananda, 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 Rakshamam. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmaye Brahmaguno Brahmarutam Brahmeva Tenam Tatyam Brahmakarma Samadhinam. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. Satguru Bhagwan ki jai, Annapurna Mata ki jai, Ganga Mata ki jai. Thank you so much for this. So, self-service at the back, thank you.